CS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. And good morning. We're glad that you're with us here today. And we're so happy to welcome Bill Geiger back into the studio. Haven't had him here for a while. On behalf of the Rotary, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, and voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. So we got to get the story first, Bill, because this is something else.
Oh, well, it's a birthday, 118th birthday.
Wow.
So we had a cake. I ordered a cake, brought it to our meeting, our regular meeting last evening at the Indiana Rotary Club, and we had such great guests speaking, and the group was just so engaged. Mm-hmm. We had our meeting, we had dinner, and everyone left, and then as one person's leaving, they pointed at the box with the birthday cake.
You were so busy you forgot to eat the cake.
Forgot to eat the cake. 118th. Happy birthday, Rotary. So I figured maybe I could talk the good people at Renda Broadcasting into helping dispose of the cake.
Help the Rotary eat a piece of cake.
Help the Rotary eat cake. Exactly right. Happy 118th birthday to Rotary.
118 years of Rotary. Is today the day, or was it?
No, it was
yesterday?
last week. It was last I think it was last Thursday.
Yeah.
But 3 Chicago businessmen got together and thought life and work would be better if they, worked together and did some things, and it grew from there. It became an international movement. 1.4 million Rotarians around the world.
Wow.
In just hundreds of countries. So, yeah.
Well, 118 isn't exactly one of those milestone birthdays.
No, it's not.
So, in other words, you do this every year, don't you?
Well, we don't, but we just thought it was time to have some cake, And, we actually, just over a year ago, the Indiana Club, we celebrated our 100th anniversary. And we had a big shindig. I think I was on the show here talking about that back a little over a year ago. But
and you ate your cake then.
We had a great party. We had proclamations from the state Senate, the state House of Representatives, from the county commissioners. So that was a fun event.
Yeah. Well, our folks in this building, they're very good with cake. So you'll be happy to know your cake will
Let
not
them
be
eat
wasted
cake.
Here.
Someone said.
Yeah.
Things didn't go so well for her.
No. Marie Antoinette she had a rough piece of cake that day.
Yeah.
So Rotary, you do so many things, but maybe people aren't aware of what Rotarians do and what Rotary really is. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. Rotary. Well, I mentioned it 118 years ago. 3 Chicago businessmen. It was men for a long time. Now women as well. Who got together, really sort of networking, and kind of they were in different businesses. One was a lawyer. One was I think he was a what's the word? He sold coal. I mean, he was a
coal salesman.
Coal salesman, and I can't remember who the third fellow his career, but I think he had a shop in Chicago. I think he was a shop owner. Anyway, so they just decided, and so it was a matter of friendship and also networking, and but they quickly, after a few years, realized they had some influence in the community. They could do some things to make the community better. So I understand the first community project, that first Rotary Club did, and more people, joined over the few years until they became a sort of a national and international movement. The first service project was there were no public bathrooms in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And so they sponsored the first public bathroom in Chicago. They paid for it and had it built, and so
how about that?
And so it's and we're known as a service organization, but I know I've noticed a lot the last couple of years. A lot of the folks in the district and national organization are talking about us as we're about membership. Membership is who we are. Service is what we do, and so we're really about relationships. But then we use those relationships with each other and with a broader community then to do things to strengthen the community. So.
Yeah, well, that's a great mission, though, isn't it? And a great way to pursue mission is through the fellowship, number one, and then once the fellows who are a part of the fellowship
fellows
get together,
and gals now too,
then they decide, well, we're here, we're together, let's see what we can do and see where we can help.
Right. One of the things that we do, and a lot of Rotary clubs do this, is kind of a project that the U.S. Rotary in the United States has adopted, and many clubs do, and that is our club provides dictionaries to every third grader in the county. every year, except the Valley, the old Blairsville Salzburg district. I forget. River Valley. Thank you. And the Blairsville Club does the same for them, but we cover the rest of the county. And so it's great. I'm going to a school this afternoon to deliver dictionaries. All the third graders. I'm going to another one tomorrow to deliver dictionaries. And it's great to talk with the kids. Rotary, they don't know what Rotary is, but I say, how many of you are in a club? And a lot of them say they're in a club, and I ask what clubs, and a lot of times it's Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and able to say, well, grown-ups like being in clubs too, and for the same reasons you do. You make friends, and you do fun stuff, but then you also figure out you can do fun stuff to help other people, and that's what Rotary is. And as you get older, and when you are grown up and have a job, and you might want to think about joining Rotary or some other club, it's about getting together and having fun with friends, but also doing things to help other people. And when you connect it with their experience, I think it sort of begins to make sense to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we don't do camping.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not like a Scout. No camping in Rotary.
We'll leave that to them.
Yeah.
We'll leave that to them. I was just thinking that it would be wonderful if the third member of that group in Chicago had been a cake baker. Just say.
Maybe, yeah. It could have come in handy.
But we'll look it up. But with Rotary and the very many things that you have done down through the years, one of those is the multiphasic blood testing,
right.
which you will be doing later in this year.
We will be doing, and we had scheduled to have it done just in a couple of weeks. And we were getting really low registrations, really low. I called the folks who actually do the testing, who come in from out of town, and a great outfit. Really, I mean, they're well known nationally for doing this kind of medical testing. They had some personnel issues which caused them not to get the promotional materials out as promptly as they normally do, and so people just weren't getting the word out about it. Mm-hmm. And just a couple weeks away, they proposed maybe we could postpone it so we can get the promotion right and get more participants. So we haven't set a date yet. Probably late in the spring, early summer, sometime June maybe. We hope to have our event. So the AMBA event, annual multiphasic blood analysis. People come, they pay a pretty reasonable fee, about I think it's $42. I think this year plus a $5 administrative fee, so $47, and you get sort of the basic panel of blood testing that doctors often will ask their patients to get every year. And they have a few extra ones that if your doctor orders a specific one for your particular need, there are some extra tests that can be purchased as well if the doctor orders them. And so people come and get these blood tests. An important part of many people's annual physical care by their doctor every year, and at a very reasonable cost. And we started doing it over 30 years ago, long before. I mean, I've been in the Rotary here since I came to town, so it's been about 24 years for me. Mm-hmm. But they were doing it years before that. And as a bit of a fundraiser for our club that we use then, not for our club, but for some of our service projects, like the dictionary project. Mm-hmm. And so it raised a little bit of money that way. But we quickly came to see what a huge service it is to the community to be able to offer these tests at such a reasonable cost. Convenient way. We have it at different public locations. The last couple of years, Indiana Mall has been very gracious in giving us space there to do it, and they'll be hosting us again this year, whatever date we settle on. So it's not only a fundraiser, but it's also in itself a service project. So
and folks look forward to it annually because
we don't offer cake, but we have donuts for people after they donate blood too. So we're all about baked goods at Rotary.
There you go. Well, somebody has to be. Bill Geiger with us, the Rotary here in Indiana, a very active organization. The dictionaries for the third graders. What are some of the other things that Rotary has had its hand in or does on an annual basis?
Well, on an annual basis, one of the other things we've been doing for many years is offering some scholarships to some local students. I mean, they're obviously not full scholarships, but they help out with students. We've offered a scholarship for quite a few years to a graduating senior at Indiana High School who's going to IUP. And we also have been offering scholarships to a few graduates of ICTC, the Indiana County Technology Center, a 2-year scholarship to, they could go to any one number of higher education institutions. So that's something we've been doing every year for quite a while. We also have sponsored a variety through our luxury raffle which has sort of been on hiatus because of the pandemic, and we're hoping to get that back up and running. We don't have a scheduled start date again, but we had that for over 25 years and raised over $500,000. And in that case, because the amount of money we'd raise, in $15,000 to $20,000 each year, we'd put out a call for applicants and grant applications. And so we'd sponsored lots of projects in not just Indiana proper, but Indiana County for just on all kinds of things, playgrounds, library, other aging services. Lots of different nonprofits in the community have benefited from our luxury raffle program.
So you said that this is what Rotary does, and the people in the meeting together is who you are. So how does somebody become a member of Rotary?
Well, come to a meeting. We are currently meeting. Historically, Rotary's been a weekly organization, but a lot of clubs, including ours, has found it modern schedules. That's really hard for folks. So we're not currently meeting every second and fourth Monday for dinner, twice a month. And we just changed our venue this year. We're meeting in the back room at the Eaton Park on Oakland. So you could just show up at 5:30 or talk to me or somebody else who knows you're a Rotarian. But if you come and say, I'm interested in knowing about Rotary, we'd let you sit in on a meeting, give you dinner, and find a time to talk to you more about what's involved in being a Rotarian.
Yeah.
There's an application process. It used to be in the early days, for many, many years in Rotary, they only would allow one person in each profession to be a member of a club. So you don't have one clergy person, you have one lawyer, you have one doctor. We found ways to kind of broaden that, as pretty much all clubs have done. So we've had multiple lawyers over the years, but different kinds of practices, and that sort of thing. So, but the idea again is to network and bring as many kind of different experiences by business and community leaders into the group. So we're not all. It's not just a group of lawyers or doctors or business owners or clergy people, or we bring in kind of a real variety of community leaders.
Very diverse group.
Yeah.
Terrific stuff. All right. So if people want to, they can get in touch with you or other members of Rotary, or just come to the meeting.
Come to a meeting, 5:30 Monday evening, second and fourth Mondays at the Indiana Eaton Park.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That cake's pretty beautiful too. We're gonna ugly it up a little bit by chopping it into pieces and eating it. Bill, thanks so much for coming across the street and visiting.
Thanks for having me, Todd. Thanks for opening the 9th Street door. Just made it easy to walk across the street for me.
And thanks for the cake. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. 24 and a half, almost 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. And coming up in our next half hour, Jeff Tobin will come visit with us and talk about amateur radio here in Indiana County. Is that still a thing like it used to be? Well, it sure is, and he'll tell us all about it. Jake is in the newsroom. He's on the way, too, and a check of sports is coming up as well.